couple of hours before kick-off. And no, I'm not at a game today. Disappointed, but midweek games, can't really do it. Plus there's a personal issue around today that keeps me away from the game, but that's another story. I'm not sure how this is going to work, because for those of you that have met me in person or know me personally, you'll know I'm a bit of a lardy bastard. So, because quite recently I found out that I've got type 2 diabetes, and so I've been told I need to lose some weight, hence the reason why you are now seeing me wandering along the Ashley Road in Parkstone, talking to myself onto a video about Tottenham. So apologies if this comes out crap, then apologies for that. Huffing and puffing and getting out of breath. Anyway, cut to the chase. Tottenham Arsenal. Never is it an easy game. It doesn't matter what your form says. It doesn't matter whether you're top of the league, bottom of the league, in a different division even. This is always going to be massive. For me, as a Tottenham fan, it's the biggest derby in the Premier League. And I know I've talked about this before on other videos about what is a derby and what isn't a derby. But for me, this is massive derby. And I know that Arsenal fans will be absolutely up for it, really wanting to turn us over, to snatch that 4th spot at White Hart Lane, break our heart, send us all home salty. But equally, Tottenham fans are going to be right up for it. I'm really expecting a good atmosphere today. I know the club of doing this TIFO thing, which I think is a fantastic idea. But I've just been listening to a guy called Sid Spurs on Paxton Road TV, which I'm giving a shout out because I think it's a great show, say that he's disappointed that they haven't decided to do that all around the ground, because there's season ticket holders and fans in all 4 sides. He's absolutely right. But anyway, at least we've got something. But it's something really we should be trying to do to raise the atmosphere all the time. And I did a video about atmosphere about a week or so ago. So take a look at that if you get a chance. So how am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling a bit nervous. The question that I've been asked by my boys, coming out tonight to watch it, and I'm like, do I want to be out in public watching Tottenham Arsenal in a neutral venue, or do I want to sit at home and just be miserable, sat behind the sofa praying it's going to work? And I don't know really how I feel, because you just can't tell. We're in good form. We had a good result against Liverpool, but we needed a win. If we win this game, great, gets us within a point. We've still got to win the rest of the games, because if we don't, then they're still going to get top 4. They've got to lose a game, draw a couple of games, whatever. And the way they play, and the history of that team being so fucking jammy and getting the rub of the green, just really drives me mad. I just think to myself, is it ever going to happen that they actually get a shit result that they deserve? Or are they actually just going to get that bit of luck that they always seem to get? And equally, we always get the shit end of the stick, don't we? So whenever something's going against you, it'll go against you. Take COVID for instance. We get out of the Europa Conference League because of COVID. Arsenal get to pull out of our game because of COVID. No repercussions for them. Get their players back and all the rest of it. get to replay it on a Thursday night, and Europa Conference we get kicked out of. So it's like, you know, how is that fair? How does that actually present itself as good luck when you consider the difference between those two scenarios? And I know they're different, but you get my point, right? I've been a Spurs fan for 45 years, and apart from the 80s, when I first started really being old enough to really enjoy it, they've pretty much been a letdown most of that time. It's been a project sort of improving or not improving, as the case may be, and all during that time they've had all that wild success. So that just, you know, makes me hate them even more. But what that also does is it puts this mentality in my head that I just don't know what's going to happen. I'd love to be really confident, but my head just won't let me. My heart's pounding, my heart's going, yeah, we're going to smash it. Kane's going to turn up, Son's going to turn up, Kulusevski's going to turn up, you know, Emerson's going to have another really good game, and it's going to be, you know, a festival of football with a fantastic atmosphere and a great result at the end of it. And whether we actually do get to the top four, depending on the other results, kind of don't really matter, because even if they beat us, say the boot was on the other foot and they beat us, but then still went on to win we still went on to win our games and got the top four, they would still be crowing about that win. So for me, it's still important that we win this game and keep that pressure on and hope that they do crack. You know, they may not, and it's fairly unlikely, if we're being brutally honest. But you've got to keep hoping. You've got to keep expecting the unexpected, because if it happens, we're going to be over the moon, right? So, you know, I don't know. I think I'm probably just rambling as I'm walking along, and I think that's probably the nerves of the game. But I think Arsenal fans are going to be confident. They believe in their team, and they've had some good results, you know. Games that we expected them to lose, they won, and that's what gets them where they are. And games that we expected to win, we drew and lost. So it's our own fault. It's our own fault we're in this situation. But what the players have got to do now is they've got to do their absolute utmost. Can't afford to leave anything behind. They've got to absolutely live and breathe this game and do whatever it takes to take the points, just to keep that little bit of pressure on. The only thing I would say is we've got to be careful that it doesn't boil over and end up like the Battle of the Bridge, which, whilst it was a great spectacle, and it's great to watch those videos back of, you know, players gouging each other and stepping on each other's hands and kicking each other in the face and all the rest of it, it still meant that we lost our opportunity to close the gap on Leicester and actually win something. So you have to put it in perspective. What I don't want is I don't want us to end up with a poor decision by a referee early on in a big game like this where everything's at stake, and that be the defining moment of the game, and end up with a boring 0-0 that does no favours to us and seals the deal for them. That's what I don't want. So I don't know. So the big question is, do I stay at home and watch it? Do I go out with my boy and his couple of mates and watch it? I don't know. It's a tough ask. Up the Spurs.